How are you? My name is Mark Justin Kamau, a former gambler, former alcoholic, former addict, homeless and in jail. Out here to help as many people as possible get into recovery, get out of hopeless situations and discover their potential. So today I'm going to talk about planning for the next moves in recovery. You see, it's so good to have a plan in any journey you're going to take, specifically when it comes to recovery. Remember, you are planless, you are formless before you got into recovery. Now, you have to have a plan. You ought to have a plan. Sometimes it's even writing it down and visualizing it and saying that, yes, I want to be here 10 years from now, but one day at a time, I will eventually I will eventually get there. One thing I always say, consistency and take it a day at a time is what matters. Take it a day at a time. Some of us even take it 1 hour at a time, 1 moment at a time. Right now, I'm advising you the next minute, I put all my focus in what I'm doing right now. The next minute, if I'm going to traveling, I'm going to put all my focus in doing that. But at the moment, I'm giving you this. And that's the most important thing. So number one, what are your life goals or recovery goals? You want to be a pharmacist. You want to be a physician. You want to be a coach. You need to write them down. Whatever you want to do, write it down today, a step at a time. Number two, you need to eliminate what you can live without. Most of us, specifically when we are in addiction, we bought a lot of luggage, or sometimes we have a lot of debts when getting into recovery. We have a lot of debts. And if you really want to pay these debts, you have to ask yourself, what exactly can I take away from my life? Do I really need a car at the moment? Do I really need a house at the moment? What exactly do I do to make sure that at least I can relieve myself from the burden of debts? Or maybe if I'm going to hit those massive goals. And I'm not talking about just goals. I'm talking about massive goals. Goals which have never been hit in your society. Goals which nobody has ever done it in your family. Goals which nobody has ever done in your country. You need to eliminate what you can live without. I mean, that's a painful part, specifically for me, because sometimes you find yourself buying things you don't even require. Number three, whose life do you model? Powerful. Whose life do you model? You want to be like Michelangelo. You want to be like Pablo Picasso. You want to be like Bishop Oyedepo. You want to be like Patrick Bet-David. You want to be... I'm mentioning these people because I want to be like them. Not necessarily saying that you have to be like them. If you hate one of them, I mean, that's not for me. So you need to list them, the people you model. For me, I will list them. I will list Patrick Bet-David. I will list Tom Bilyeu. I will list Joe Rogan. I will list Habib Nurmagomedov. I mean, I will list all these people I want to be like. And I will give myself permission to exactly read about them. The best thing about the world we are right now, and I'm so happy that we are in this world that we are in right now, is that everything else is on the internet. You need books from them, Amazon. Sometimes even free PDFs. Sometimes in town, they are very cheap books. And you can learn about people by reading books. I had Bishop Oyedepo saying that most of the people he models, he wants to be like, or people who have mentored him, he has never met them. He reads books about them. I had Patrick Bet-David saying that he read more than 2,000 books initially when he wanted to get... If you really want to plan ahead, you have to know who you want to model. You have to know the books you want to read. You need to... Who did they watch? I will listen to Patrick Bet-David. Who did he watch to become the person he is today? I mean, everybody needs a mentor. Sometimes that mentor may not be in your life. Look at people like Mike Tyson. If Casamato didn't come into his life, who would he be today? If people like Muhammad Ali, people like, if Angelo Dandi didn't come into his life, if people like Michael Jordan, if somebody like Phil Jackson didn't come into his life, maybe who would he be today? I mean, everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs somebody who is out there. And you need to watch out what they did watch. What were they watching? What were they listening to? What was in their ears? And if you realize these are the people that you watched, do it the same way. I mean, you can read even when you're in a matatu or that is in Kenya, if you're outside the country, if you're traveling or in your car or wherever it is. I mean, you can listen to their podcast. Number three, their biggest failure. That is something I love studying about people who failed, because like they said that a wise person learns from other people's mistakes. So I will look at Mike Tyson. How did he blow 30 millions in one fight? After 30 millions that he made in one fight. I look at Patrick Bet-David. What did party in life made him do? To a point where he had 40,000 grants. Was it grants or dollars? $1,000 in debt. What made people who are down there, like David Gong is, to have that big body and to a point where now he is able to lift weights and do the best things out there? What exactly did they do that made them to be failures? And what exactly did they do and learn from their failures from there? Their biggest strength. What is their strength? How are they able to develop their strength? So if you really want, this is how you're planning for your recovery and days ahead. The other thing is their strengths or weaknesses, still the same thing. Or you can say their biggest victory. Or instead of strength, their biggest victory, you can talk about their strengths or weaknesses. How have they been able to work on their weaknesses? If you look at like person like Kobe Bryant, 13 years old, he wanted to be a basketball player. He lost. Never made even a single shot on his first season. But from there, he trained on making his shots for a whole year. The other year, he trains of how to shoot. I mean, what exactly? He wasn't the most talented. I don't believe Cristiano Ronaldo was the best talented footballer. But he learned day in, day out. What exactly was their strength? Waking up, shooting. I mean, and you realize that most of the people who perform on the day of war, it's something that they have been practicing for long enough. I don't know if it's Proverbs 4:23 that says that if you struggle on the day of the championship, then your strength is not enough. So, what were their strengths and weaknesses? What did they do each and every day? What were they using? I mean, how did they learn from their weaknesses and tried to use them for their own advantage? Then number 4, which is a very important point, what emotion does it produce when you visualize the goals that you have? One thing about us who keep on relapsing, because I always did relapse when I was in the past. I mean, I always went back to that old life. Most of us depend on motivation. And initially, 1st January, we want to, those goals, they are always in us. But when it gets too much, nobody's doing those goals that they had initially. Because there is no emotion that is produced when you remember those goals. I wrote something on the wall in my room that says, I will win this for you, mom. I will win with this war for you, my mom. My mom struggled with alcoholism, got mouth cancer, and died. And alcoholism exacerbated the whole situation. It takes a lot of strength to say that. But I loved her. And when I realized that I'm also fighting this war for her and helping as many women and men for her, then that produces a certain emotion I don't even know. That makes me wake up sometimes at 2, sometimes at 3. I'm out there grinding. Number 5, what do you need? This is a very important point. You need people to reach to your goals. Advisors. I have a very nice, amazing sister who I call most of the time when I'm going through a certain situation. I want to buy a phone. She's a very nice economist. She's with her husband. They are very nice people who believe in me. You need to realize who are the people I need around me, because there are people who don't want to do the best for you. And if you get people who stand by you, no matter what, these are the people you keep around. You need believers. People who are rooting for you. People who, if you're going the wrong way, I have some people around me who, if I'm going the wrong way, they'll be texting me. I can see, and you have to ask for discernment from God in a big way, to know who is for you and who is not for you. The enemies you need. I mean, it's good to have enemies sometimes. You know, we are told about friends. Sometimes you need to have enemies. I mean, if you are trying to run away from alcohol, then why are you bringing in alcoholics who are forcing you into alcohol in your own life? If you're trying to move away from bang, then why are you going with bang addicts in your own life? The other thing, the skills you need. I want to be a pharmacist. What exactly do I need? I want to be a footballer. What exactly do I need? What are the skills? What are the tools? Tools, we have social media. How are you going to use social media? TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. How exactly are you going to leverage on the tools that you have around you? If you need a phone, if you need a laptop, resources. Where are you going to get money from? The money you need to get to your goals. And I've realized one thing. Some of us have big dreams, but at the moment we have to do something else, like construction or anything else, before we reach that goal. So what exactly are you doing now? Knowing very well that this is not necessarily what I want, but for me to get there, I have to use this vehicle for me to get to the goal I want to. Then the last point, which is the amazing point, the mindset, the books you need to read. There are books you don't need, and there are books you need in your life. Not every book I finish, or not every book you need to finish. There are books you will start and then you realize this is not what I wanted. Some of us want fictional books. Some of us want motivational books. Some of us want books from Robin Sharma. Those are books I love. I'm reading his book called Who Will Cry When You Die. I read his 5 a.m. book. I read the other one, Don't Worry. I mean, How to Stop Overeating and Start Living. So what are the books? You see, when you read, it changes your mindset. It helps you see the world as it is, and from different people, and from people who have already gone through life and succeeded. So it's very amazing when you change your mindset. Not only the books you read, but the things you watch on the internet. I mean, YouTube, podcasts, what people are you watching? And I love helping people out. I mean, if you're struggling with the kind of content to watch, you can go to Impact Theory from Tom Bilio. He brings in amazing speakers out there who are speaking about their own life. You can go to Valuetainment by by Patrick B. David. I don't know whether the Joe Rogan's podcast is called Powerful Jayari. I can't remember. But there are so many people in the internet whom you can read and study from. TGJX, all these people you can study from. The good thing is, these are people who have experiences from over 20 to 30 years. And they are only giving it in a video, YouTube video that takes 1 hour or 2 hours. I mean, imagine the kind of mindset that changes. You remember, for you to remain in recovery, you have to understand that everything starts in the mind. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. For you to believe it, you have to even learn from other people who believed in it. Otherwise, I'm rooting for you. These things take a lot of consistency. Sometimes they take a lot of pain. Don't give up just because you tried for the first day and it didn't work. The thing is consistency, like lifting weights. Eventually, it's going to be easy for you. The thing is, you have to keep on doing it consistently. One thing I always love, a friend of mine called Pubi from South Africa came the other day to Kenya, giving us a talk. And he told us one thing when we were sitting down there at Gamblers Anonymous, a meeting for the former gamblers and gamblers who want to quit. He said one thing that is an amazing thing, that miracles do happen. Miracles in life and in recovery do happen. It's only that sometimes they take a little bit longer. Stop quitting on the first day. Stop quitting on the second day. You don't know what God is planning. You might be 3 feet away from the gold. Otherwise, keep on keeping on, one day at a time. Eventually, you're also going to get to that life. If you love that video, same thing. Let's keep on subscribing. Let's keep on sharing these videos to other people who might require them. Otherwise, keep on keeping on. I love you. I do this because I love you so much. Thank you.